On November 24th, approximately 9 o'clock at night last year, I went blind in this eye, and I don't know why, or I don't know how. Actually, I do know why. For some reason, I fell down the stairs to my basement, approximately 14 stairs, and I landed on a rock floor. I don't know how I fell or why I fell. I have no memory of me falling or me hitting my head. I have no memory of the event happening at all. The only thing I do remember is waking up in the intensive care unit the next day, blind. That's the only thing I remember. I didn't realize at the time I had two broken vertebrae in my neck, and I had 7 facial fractures all over the right side of my face, and my jaw was broken. My upper jaw was broken. I was in severe pain, even though I was loaded up with painkillers, and I was just confused and scared because I was blind. I didn't realize all the other injuries had happened, and I woke up restrained to the bed, shackled with both my hands and both my ankles were strapped to the bed. Not because I was I was going to prison or I was arrested. It's because I was a danger to myself. No, don't remember that either. Apparently, I did at some point wake up on the bottom of the stairs in a pool of blood. My wife heard me fall and came down and saw me unconscious on the bottom of the stairs. At some point, the ambulance came and I woke up and I was very belligerent and very angry that they were trying to put me on a gurney and trying to wrap a neck brace around me. And I became very aggressive and very disorderly, probably because I was confused. I had 7 brain injuries at the same time. Again, don't have any recollection of this happening at all. I just woke up and restrained to the bed, which made me even more mad because now I'm in a hospital. Now I'm blind, and now I don't understand why I'm strapped to a bed. So I stayed in the ICU for about a week. My family was real happy about that because we had been planning a trip to New York over Thanksgiving holiday, and we had to obviously cancel all of those things. So we didn't get to go to New York. I got out actually on Thanksgiving Day. So we spent Thanksgiving me drinking soup on my couch. So very festive holiday. Of course, I had to take several months off of work because I was incapable of pretty much doing anything. I couldn't eat. I could barely walk. I could barely move. I was in severe pain for a long, long time. And then on top of all of that, I'm trying to learn to live life with one eye. That was hard. That was still is hard. It's 9 months later, and I'm still learning. And when I was blind, no one would tell me in the hospital, in the ICU, in the intensive care unit, no one would tell me I was blind, and I kept asking, like, "What is wrong? What's wrong with my vision?" It turned out that the 7 bones that were shattered in my face when I landed on the rock floor caused so much severe swelling in my eye that it killed the optic nerve. And once that's dead, it's dead. It's not coming back. But no one would tell me. And I had to go to an ophthalmologist a few days after I got out of intensive care, and they did all the tests and took all the pictures. And stone cold, I was just sitting in the chair waiting for the test to come back. And the ophthalmologist, the doctor, she walked in and she looked at me and she's like, "You're blind." Stone cold, just like that. "You're blind." And that's when I started to cry because something that I had feared was now real. So there I was, 2 broken bones in my neck, 7 broken bones in my face, and now permanently blind, trying to deal with life. And at this point, it's probably December, and I'm on short-term leave from my job, not knowing if I'll ever be able to go back to work. And that was a very confusing time. I was very angry. I still didn't understand why me. I still didn't understand how I fell or why I fell. I still had no memory of anything happening to me. I'm not sure if I ever will. Still don't have any memory even 9 months later. Then I have to figure out how to move on and how to overcome this. I'm also half paralyzed on my left side because of the 2 broken, vertebrae, and I can't really feel my left arm too much. I can't lift it above my head, so I start intensive physical therapy 3 times a week for, I think it's an hour, hour and a half a day, and that sucked. Joshua, I do love you, but, I hated you then. He was my physical therapist, if you didn't put that together. And it was brutal and it was humbling. God, it was humbling. I couldn't even hold a 5-pound dumbbell in my hand, let alone lift it above my head. That takes us into January, and I'm still fearing what the future holds and how to overcome and how to persevere and all the things you're and if you haven't figured out, I had a severe brain injury, which I don't really think affected me. Maybe people around me probably do, but it didn't alter my cognitive thinking. It didn't disrupt my problem solving abilities. I could still speak. I could still walk and talk. I didn't have any bad motor function. There's a fly. Motor function disabilities either. But I was going to the brain injury doctor once a week, twice a week actually in the beginning, and they would take me through all these different IQ tests and riddles and puzzles and problem solving just to test my brain, and it was exhausting. God, I come out of there just so tired, mentally anguished, and that went on for several months, and I slowly regained my strength. I slowly regained my ability to walk better and talk better. I had to relearn how to drive a car, and thankfully I have a GMC truck, a 2500, GMC AT4 2500, which I had bought in October, and it's a big truck. It's 2500, so it's meant to haul stuff and have a trailer, and it has cameras built in everywhere. And I wasn't using them before my accident, but damn sure I use them now. Literally every time I park, I turn the cameras on. When I'm driving down the highway, or going through a tight space, I have the cameras on because I have no depth perception anymore. With one eye, you lose all depth perception. So I can't tell how far things are away. The first 55 years of my life, I mean, I learned how far things were away just by the size and the physicality of them. It's very, very hard to judge how far, like a car in front of you is parked on the right side. I have a hard time. It feels closer than it typically is, and I don't trust myself. So I turn the cameras on in my truck every time I get close to something. But that's just how you deal with it now, or that's how I deal with it now. It's now August, middle of August. I can drive a car, um, hopefully almost as good as I could before. Again, I need a little bit of help. I used to ride motorcycles a lot. That was a passion of mine. I was a Harley rider, if you haven't figured it out. I actually built that bike. But I had to give up that passion. It's dangerous enough with 2 eyes on a motorcycle. As you can imagine, with 1 eye, it's even more dangerous. And so, my wife and I made the decision that my motorcycle driving days are over, and I sold my motorcycle. Oof, that's a tough one. So those days are behind me. Part of recovering, I guess, accepting that I can't do things I used to do is a hard part of it. Good Lord, man, this is real time. I'm not gonna edit that out. There you go. You're gonna fly in there. I hope it's a fly. I couldn't really see because I'm blind. That's why. In February, I went back to work. That was hard. I do a lot of content creation. I do a lot of video editing. I stare at a screen probably 8 to 10 hours a day. In the beginning, I could not stare at a screen with 1 eye 8 to 10 hours a day. I had to take a lot more breaks than I typically would. I had to get used to looking at stuff with 1 eye. I adjusted the accessibility features on my Mac drastically. I made all the font bigger on everything. And I have pretty good vision in my left eye. It's 20 30 or something like that. I do have to wear glasses to read. Farsight's fine. But staring at a monitor all day, I had to start wearing glasses all the time as well. So just learning to do that has been a learning experience, I guess. There's that damn fly again. So today, 9 months later, I think I'm fully physically healed. Of course, I went to the ortho and checked my back and checked my neck and checked my face. Shockingly, I didn't have to have any reconstructive surgery on my face. The plastic surgeon was shocked. He'd never seen anything quite like that, because they mostly shattered and didn't move and didn't dislodge. So they just healed in place. Basically, he's like, your right side is going to be kind of like this calcium jelly for a while as it heals, but I don't think I need to do any surgery. So that was good news, I guess, if you can call it that. My neck healed, the vertebrae in my neck healed. Several MRIs, by the way, not a fan of MRIs. All of that's healed. I can lift weights again. I can go to the gym again. I can work out again. Still not at the strength I could before. Again, another part of acceptance, another part of the journey. It's been humbling to say the least, but that was my traumatic injury. And if you like this video, hey man, please subscribe to the channel. Promote the Tattoo Nerd a little bit. It doesn't pay the bills, but it certainly helps a little bit. And if you like this story, you can hear my cancer story if you just click this video. All right, I'll sign off there. Just a little test, see if this actually works. I'm Patrick Kelly, the Tattoo Nerd.